Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to talk further about ship refining and what it will involve, plus the potential of the Starfarer becoming a mobile or refinery ship. These videos are made possible thanks to my very generous patrons and channel members, so thank you guys for the support. Also, if you do enjoy my content, please consider hitting subscribe and helping the channel to grow. So recently we heard developers referring to the Starfarer as a ship to work alongside mining ships, refining ores and materials, with Dan Truffin, the assistant design director at CIG, continuously referring to the Starfarer in this way. Now, before we delve into the prospect of the Starfarer having the ability to refine minerals and ores, I would like to talk further about what ship refining will involve. So we heard that the process of ship refining will involve a single refinery ship supporting multiple mining ships, acting as a hub for the miners to come to and drop off their saddlebags. The refinery ship will then pick up those saddlebags, extract the minerals and ores into their holding tanks, dropping back the empty saddlebags so the mining ships can reuse them. Now, once the refinery ship has all the ore and minerals in its tanks, the crew can then decide what refining process to use, based on the outcome that they want. Either using a reactor to refine the minerals or a furnace to refine ores into metals. It was also mentioned that if you have minerals and ores in the same hold, the chances are you will lose one of them depending on the process you go with. For example, if you choose to refine the ores into metals, the unrefined minerals will be lost in the actual process itself. Now, when it comes to actually interacting with the furnace or reactors, we don't know exactly what any of the processes will involve or how many stages there will be with each, but we have heard that it'll be very hands-on and based on the process you go with, may require adding catalysts, solvents or acids while monitoring timers and pressures, ensuring that you stay within the limits of whatever it is that you're trying to refine. So this is probably where the skill will come into it. Firstly, it'll be learning what each process does for whatever ore or mineral that you are trying to refine, then carefully going through the steps, quite scientifically, continuously monitoring their pressures and timers to ensure that they remain at the correct level. There will likely be varying ways in which the process could fail, maybe from the very basic of ruining the material you're trying to refine, all the way up to potential catastrophic explosions, especially as you will be dealing with pressures. If you get them wrong, then maybe we could see a tank explode. So once the refining processes are done, you will then need to pass the refined goods onto the cargo ships for transporting to market or for storage, creating some fun gameplay that can require multiple players to take part in. Now, of course, you could also be a solo owner and operator of a refinery ship, if we do see solo refinery ships, of course, who goes out looking for miners who may be interested in hiring your services. Now, hearing about all of these plans for ship refining fills me with a lot of excitement of having a full mining expedition in which we have players scanning planets and moons for large mining locations. Once found, sending in a security team to secure the area while the mining division gets set up and make their way in. Alongside this, a refinery ship to complement them. Then watching as the prospectors and moles go back and forth to the refinery ship, dropping off and picking up their saddlebags for the ship to process, after which org haulers and economists work together to find the best deal in the verse, distributing these refined goods to where they need to be, all the while our security division providing protection to all parties involved. It is going to be quite a sight to see, but also I expect a lot of fun to take part in. Now, let's talk further about this potential Starfarer refinery ship. Firstly, we don't have a solid yes from CIG that the Starfarer is going to be a refinery ship. However, Dan Truffin referred to it multiple times in multiple scenarios, stating that it will be. So take that with a pinch of salt, as it could very well have been a mistake, but personally I'm quite confident that CIG has given the Starfarer this new ability. Now, Dan Truffin goes on to explain that the Starfarer refinery is not going to be like station refining, as it will be far more hands-on, just like what we heard. Also likely yielding a lesser amount of refined goods, but offering the convenience of having a refinery on hand alongside the mining ships. So cutting down on travel time, wait time, and the threat of pirates while alone en route to a station. When they introduced Quantanium ore, it was quite a blow for many Starfarer owners, as they were under the impression that the Starfarer would be collecting, refining and distributing quantum fuel. Instead, they will have to purchase the mined Quantanium, creating a bit of a middleman scenario which will of course cut into their profits, plus leaving the Starfarer limited to only be able to collect hydrogen fuel. With the potential for the Starfarer to be capable of refining ores and metals, this will mean the Starfarer will have a greater potential for making money, working as a hub for miners to bring their mined goods to. They also explained how Starfarer owners will need to decide what tank types to have, as Dan said, deciding to have more reactors versus storage, and whether they would require the reactor or furnace. So depending on what you plan to refine, for example, your org might have found a huge deposit of gold or aluminium, so fitting the furnace to the Starfarer to support that would make more sense than arriving with a reactor to refine minerals. Now, what is really exciting about all of this is that the design for ship refining is done now, and they are literally just waiting for one particular programmer to finish the current work that he is on with, at which point he will move on to getting this working. We know that they would prefer to have ship-to-ship refueling done before we see Pyro, and the work for ship-to-ship refueling is scheduled to complete around the beginning of September. And if I were to guess, which is all it is, just a guess and an opinion, alongside ship-to-ship refueling, the Starfarer may have the ability to retrofit its tanks to be a refinery ship, especially as we heard recently that the resource generation and item control system refactor has now been done, and they are looking to implement it in certain areas. With a recent discussion taking place, they said, to figure out how they plan to get the tanks on the Starfarer to transfer fuel between each other and the ships. Also, we do know that a solo refinery ship is the last remaining ship yet to be seen from the potential for concepts during CitizenCon in 2019, so at the very least I would expect to see a dedicated solo refinery ship. But I am also very hopeful that CIG are using the Starfarer as a mineral, metal and gas refinery ship. And if so, I would certainly be interested in not only seeing that, but picking a Starfarer up. Do let me know what you think about the refining process and of course the potential of the Starfarer gaining some extra abilities. Hopefully we hear more regarding both of these systems soon, as I am quite confident we will not be waiting too long for them. But with that said, if you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing here on YouTube, and if you want to talk more about Star Citizen or just hang out with the most amazing community, you are all more than welcome over on my Twitch channel. It is linked in the description below. If you could do me a favor and hit that thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And if you want to be notified when my videos go live, tick that bell. Again, thank you so much to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.